Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Star Wars for 100 Days, the ultimate fan countdown leading up to the release of Star Wars The Force Awakens. Can you guys believe that we are only 10 days away from the release of the 7th chapter in the greatest sci-fi saga of all time? Star Wars and video games go hand in hand. Hell, there are hundreds of Star Wars video games, and I've played a lot of them. Some of the good ones and some of the bad ones. So I wanted to count down my top 10 favorite Star Wars video games. So without further ado, here is my top 10 favorite Star Wars games, starting with number 10. My number 10 choice goes to Star Wars Republic Commandos for the Xbox. I never owned an Xbox, but I did have a friend who had the game, and we had a lot of fun playing as the Republic Commando clone troopers and knocking the snot out of some Geonosian aliens. It's one of the best first-person Star Wars games I have ever played. My number 9 choice goes to the brand new game Star Wars Battlefront for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. The only reason that this is making the list is because this is the sexiest looking Star Wars game ever made. You cannot deny that the graphics and the sound design are just amazing. That being said, it really doesn't have that much to offer. It's basically just a multiplayer shooter. My next choice goes to the sequel to Star Wars X-Wing, Star Wars TIE Fighters. If you thought it was cool playing as the heroes, wait till you play as the villains. My number 7 choice goes to a classic Star Wars game from the early 90s during the PC era, Star Wars X-Wing. This was the very first Star Wars simulation game where you got to be a part of the Rogue Squadron. It's very archaic by today's standards, but this was the very first time you actually felt like you were a part of the Star Wars universe. Coming in at number 6 is Shadows of the Empire from Nintendo 64. This was one of the very first games that I actually played for the system, and this was a monumental release for Star Wars, because this was a storyline which took place between Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, and Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. You got to take control of Dash Rendar, who was going on a secret mission to rescue Han Solo with Luke Skywalker. Third-person action, first-person action sequences, speeder bike chases, this game had it all. My number 5 choice goes to Star Wars The Force Unleashed. This is probably the best action entry in the Star Wars video game series. You got to take control of Darth Vader's secret apprentice, Galen Marek, otherwise known as Starkiller. It was a third-person action game where you got to destroy tons of stormtroopers with your lightsaber abilities, force lightning. You could even grab a TIE fighter out of the sky and toss it at a group of stormtroopers. It really made you feel like the ultimate Jedi badass. My number 4 choice goes to Star Wars Rogue Leader Rogue Squadron 2. Back in 2001, I got the ultimate Christmas present, a brand new GameCube, and to go along with that, I had 2 games, Super Smash Bros. Melee and Star Wars Rogue Leader Rogue Squadron 2. This still is one of the greatest looking Star Wars games ever made. Years after its release, it can go toe-to-toe with even some of the most latest releases. It almost looks as good as the new Battlefront, and that's saying quite a bit. I just remember on Christmas morning playing the very first mission of that game, which was the classic Death Star run. It was so amazing that my brother was actually getting involved, and he freaking hates Star Wars. He was enjoying it that much. That's why I knew that this was definitely one of the greatest Star Wars games ever made. You can control X-Wings, TIE Fighters, Naboo Starfighters, even the Slave One. You could control Boba Fett's ship. That alone makes this one of the greatest Star Wars video game experiences I have ever had. My number 3 choice goes to the Super Star Wars series from Super Nintendo. They made adaptations for all of the original movies, and these games were hard as balls. They were side-scrolling action games where you took charge of Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Princess Leia, and you got to fight against stormtroopers and aliens, and you would lose hundreds of lives. In fact, I still have not beaten any of these games, but they're just so damn fun! My number 2 choice goes to Star Wars Bounty Hunter, in particular the GameCube version. Just 1 year after getting Rogue Leader, I got Bounty Hunter, another classic Star Wars game, and this was a third-person action game where you took control of Jango Fett, the father of Boba Fett. This was the ultimate Bounty Hunter experience. killing bad guys, capturing people, dead or alive, epic boss fights, and also getting to learn how Jango Fett became the template for the entire clone army. Definitely an amazing experience, which should be played by every Star Wars fan. And last but not least, my #1 favorite Star Wars video game of all time is Star Wars Battlefront 2 from 2005. This game came out on the Xbox, PC, PlayStation 2, and it's even been ported to Steam with HD graphics. This is, without a doubt, the best Star Wars video game experience, as it expands every single movie. The prequels, the sequels, everything. Stormtroopers, Clone Troopers, Jedis, General Grievous, Boba Fett, Han Solo, every imaginable main character from the series is playable, and then some. Epic battles with up to 40 different soldiers at once. All the vehicles are in the game. This was the ultimate Star Wars experience. It also had amazing online play, a great single-player experience, which was all about how the Empire actually took over the galaxy. This game had it all, and it's still incredibly fun, and if you have a Steam account, go pick it up. It's absolutely amazing, and it kicks the shit out of the brand new Battlefront. They might as well just give that one an HD coat of paint and call that the new Battlefront, because it is worth playing, and it's still awesome, and that's why it's my favorite Star Wars video game of all time. So there it is, my friends. That is my top 10 favorite Star Wars games, but I want to hear from you. Do you have a favorite Star Wars video game? Do you have a top 10 list? Please tell me in the comments section below, and make sure to tell me what you want to see from Star Wars The Force Awakens. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.